Today's episode is brought to you by Canby Foursquare Church. Since 1978, a place to grow, connect, and serve. In-person services are back with some restrictions to help ensure everyone stays safe and healthy. For the latest, visit their website at canbyfoursquare.com.
This episode is also brought to you by Chris Salee, your local health markets insurance agency. Creative solutions for your health, Medicare, and life insurance needs. Personalized advice at 503-678-5768. Welcome to Now Hear This Canby,
your source for news.
The threat of a possible teacher strike was avoided this week.
There's a new, irresistibly cute creature winning over fans, and its name is Scootaloo.
Sports.
It's like Lucy in the football. You want to kick a field goal, if they take it away from you.
We had to learn how to win.
Goal can't be in the last second of the game!
And interesting conversations.
Because I'm one of the strongest girls ever, and I know that for a fact.
I just really enjoy writing gossip as if I was a bear.
With an old maid daughter that make the best moonshine in the coast.
And if it would have hit me in the face, I think I would have died. I really do.
I guarantee you would have died, man. Are you kidding me?
Oregon Governor Kate Brown has ordered a 2-week freeze, a statewide return to many of the most austere coronavirus restrictions that were implemented at the start of the pandemic, including closing bars and prohibiting in-person dining at restaurants. The governor announced the new efforts to clamp down on an unprecedented surge in new coronavirus cases and COVID-19 hospitalizations during a press conference with health officials Friday. The 2-week freeze harkens back to many of the restrictions of the early pandemic executive orders Brown issued in March. It will take effect on Wednesday, November 18th, and extend to at least December 2nd. The new restrictions include limiting restaurants and bars to takeout service only, closing gyms and other indoor recreational facilities, museums and theaters, and prohibiting visits at nursing homes and other long-term care facilities. Outdoor recreational facilities, zoos, gardens, and entertainment venues are also ordered closed, though city parks and playgrounds will remain open. Social get-togethers, whether indoor or out, are to be limited to no more than 6 people from 2 households, and worship services are restricted to 25 people when indoors and 50 outdoors. Brown's office said in a news release, quote, "These risk reduction measures are critical in limiting the spread of COVID-19, reducing risk in communities more vulnerable to serious illness and death, and helping conserve hospital capacity so that all Oregonians can continue to have access to quality care." Though the draconian restrictions are, in some ways, a return to the almost complete shutdown of many businesses and organizations that occurred in April and March, they are actually much more targeted. The freeze does not affect schools, sports, or childcare services as they are currently operating, nor does it impact personal services such as hair salons, barbershops, and massage parlors. The clampdown comes amidst Oregon's largest ever surge, as the state has repeatedly set records for new daily cases over the past 2 weeks, including over 1,100 new cases as of Thursday. On Friday, Brown also joined the governors of Washington and California in announcing a joint travel advisory. While all 3 states are urging people to avoid unnecessary travel, they're also asking the people who visit or return home from another state voluntarily self-quarantine for 2 weeks. News of the new restrictions drew immediate criticism from Republican leaders and citizens, including incoming Clackamas County Chair Tootie Smith, who shared a post on her political Facebook page declaring her plans to, quote, "celebrate Thanksgiving with as many friends and family as I can find," end quote. Quote, "Governor Brown is wrong to order otherwise," Smith said. The Canby City Council last week unanimously approved a proposal to allocate more than $150,000 in federal coronavirus relief funding to support the charitable work of the Canby Center, Canby Adult Center, and Canby Kiwanis Club. The proposal allocated the bulk of the available funding through the Federal CARES Act to the Canby Center, which is to be passed through to Canby residents in need of rent and utility assistance. The Canby Center has seen greatly increased need for food in the local area during the pandemic, as has the Canby Adult Center, which organizes and oversees the local Meals on Meals and Wheels program, delivering handmade hot food to seniors, who are generally much more at risk for serious complications due to COVID-19. When the pandemic hit, they looked at the most vulnerable of their population that really should not be leaving their homes at this time, Financial Director Judy Blooms explained. They created shelf-stable foods to provide these seniors an extra 2 meals a week, but their funding for that program ended in June. Counselors agreed to reimburse the Adult Center for these additional meals from July through September, an estimated cost of $10,000. Finally, the city addressed a request for support from the Canby Kiwanis Club, whose annual Canby Community Food and Toy Drive serves hundreds of local families and children each Christmas season. Instead of food boxes, the club plans to give away gift cards for groceries this year at an estimated cost of $30,000. The city wanted to pick up half the tab, but there was one problem. We really searched through the CARES Act rules to find a new way to make their need fit, and it does not, Blooms explained. So we've tried to be as creative as possible because we felt their need and what they do is very important to our community. Though the federal rules did not accommodate the specific needs of the nonprofit, they do permit government entities like the City of Canby to be reimbursed for increased staff time related to responding to the pandemic. Staff's proposal, which the council approved, was to accept the reimbursement for staff time and essentially pass this amount through to the Canby Kiwanis Club. In a joint action, the council also approved the creation of the Canby Resiliency Grant Program, which allocated an additional $150,000 in CARES funding to help struggling local businesses. Under this program, local small businesses who experience financial hardship this year due to COVID-19 can apply for one-time grants of up to $10,000, depending on the size of the business. Willamette Valley Country Club's Friendsgiving fundraiser and golf tournament Saturday was a smashing success, raising more than $20,000 for the Canby Center and Friends of the Canby Public Library, with the former receiving the larger share. The golf tournament and raffle raised a total of $20,693, according to the ladies of Willamette Valley Country Club, who organized the event. It was intended to replace 2 fundraisers the country club has traditionally hosted for local nonprofits, but had to nix this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. These events were a spring luncheon benefiting the Friends of the Canby Public Library and a holiday luncheon for the Canby Center. The proceeds from Saturday's event were split between the 2 groups, with the Canby Center receiving 3/4 of the amount. Friendsgiving Committee Chair Laura Baldonado, who helped organize the event and raffle in a 2-month timeframe, reported that 136 golfers participated, with tee times that were staggered throughout the day. The winner of the chipping contest, Terry Easel, received golf passes for the reserve. Sadly, none of the participants walked away with the coveted hole-in-one prize. The fund will support services at the Canby Center that provide food, clothing, lunches, tutoring, and other needs for the community's vulnerable youth and their families, as well as the reading programs, book purchases, and special needs for children and teens provided by the Friends of the Library. After its most successful summer in many years, the Canby Farmers Market has expanded to a new location and new season. The brand new Canby Winter Farmers Market opened this past Saturday for its second week outside the Canby Pioneer Chapel Performing Arts. It will run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for 5 more Saturdays through December 19th. We wanted to offer something holiday for the community, and a winter market seemed just that, said Canby Farmers Market organizer Alexis Purcell. Still safe and outside, but fun. The market is staged on North Elm Street between 3rd and 4th Avenue, as well as in the event tent on the grounds of the Canby Pioneer Chapel. Mimosas will be served and a few great distilleries, Purcell said. We'll also have food trucks, produce, holiday decor, gifts, and more. Almost 40 vendors have signed up for the new winter market, including, just to name a few, Red Chair Farm, Urban Cowgirl, 503 Distillery, Boho Wild Creations, and The Pastry Smith. For photos, visit the Canby Current Facebook page. Now Hear This Sports is brought to you by Reif & Hunziker, PC. When you need an attorney, turn to the firm that Canby has trusted for over 50 years. Call them today at 503-266-3456. Two key members of the highly lauded 2019 Canby Cougar volleyball squad have announced their decisions to continue their athletic careers at Division I colleges. Outside hitter Daly McLean and libero Caitlin Gay, both seniors from the class of 2021. McLean, the 2019 Three Rivers League Player of the Year, and an OSAA first-team All-State selection, actually committed to the University of Oregon in August 2019, but did not sign her letter of intent until this week. A lifelong Ducks fan, she got the call from her dream school out of the blue after narrowing her list to the 3 D1 programs in California: Sacramento State, California Baptist, and Loyola Marymount. First and foremost, Daly is a special person and will make an incredible teammate, said Canby head volleyball coach Terry Jo Schlatter. She is a hard worker and a positive presence in the gym. They will love her. McLean is a complete player, Schlatter said, able to excel in all phases of the game. McLean will be joining the Ducks beach team, Schlatter noted. Her teammate, Gay, will sign with the University of Idaho, it was revealed this week. Gay earned first-team All-League honors her first year with the Cougs. As a sophomore, she was the second-ranked libero behind one of the state's top recruits, Ellie Schnook, who's killing it at Portland State, Schlatter said. Last year, Gay's role on the team changed, as Schlatter asked her to focus on hitting, defense, and ball handling, while McLean carried the load on offense. She did a great job of that, but didn't win a lot of accolades, Schlatter said of Gay. In short, she took a hit for the team, which is part of why we had such a successful season. We couldn't have done what we did without her. Like everything in 2020, college recruiting has been upended by COVID-19, most obviously by the fact that very few athletic competitions have been able to be staged since the pandemic hit Oregon in February. Most recruiting has been done by video. Fortunately, both of these athletes were well into their recruiting process by then. I think they are relieved to know where they are going and excited to move forward on their journeys, Schlatter said. A lot of hard work has gone into their success. Though their paths have been a little different, both of these girls have absolutely earned the success they are now enjoying. McLean and Gay were undoubtedly two of the most important pieces for the Cougs during their surprising 2019 run, in which they entered the state tournament as the number 11 seed, only to stage upset after upset en route to the third place finish. It was the best result in the program's history and the highest finish for any non-private school volleyball team in the state last year.
B14 068 N7040.
Hey, Frankie, what are you doing?
Well, I was trying to win this direct link pattern bingo game. That Hallmark gift basket is as good as mine.
Direct Link bingo game?
You bet. Our local internet provider is hosting a virtual bingo game to show appreciation for their members. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, super cool. Who does that?
Direct Link does. They miss seeing their members during these difficult times and wanted to offer a fun way to stay engaged and win some sweet prizes.
They really do work hard to embody that cooperative spirit, don't they?
Well, October is Cooperative Month, and DirectLink is a cooperative that was started back in 1904 by local farmers, so bingo kind of makes sense. They are one of roughly 260 remaining communications co-ops in the U.S. who provide connections over 40% of the land so that more than 50 million rural Americans have the technology that they need to thrive.
Well, that's pretty unique. So how does bingo work?
DirectLink members were mailed a bingo card at the beginning of September. Simply visit directlink.coop/bingo or DirectLink Facebook page every weekday to get that day's bingo number and cross it off your card. They're playing 4 different simultaneous games, with the blackout prize being a 4-pack of tickets to a 2021 Mariners game.
Okay, wow, get out of my way. I gotta go get my card right now.
Good luck, on everything except that Hallmark basket, because, like I said, that's mine. All right. Well, joining us once again on the Canby Conversation is Calvin LeSueur. He is the Economic Development and Tourism Coordinator for the City of Canby. Hi, Calvin.
Hey, Frankie. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. The last time you were on the show, we were still the Canby Now podcast, and you were previewing the Friends of the Library concert series back at the beginning of March. I don't know if you even remember that.
Yeah, and you know what? We had one really good one on early March.
Yeah.
In the lobby of the library, and then the rest of our schedule didn't pan out. But
right, it was a fun lineup. There's always next year.
Yes, and hopefully there will be some opportunity for some outdoor concerts next year, I hope.
Yeah. Would you be able to kind of sum up or describe a little bit, or maybe just give us a flavor of what your work and your efforts have been pointed at? Obviously, like we mentioned, your title, Economic Development and Tourism, you work with a lot of our small and locally owned businesses. That's kind of your focus. It used to be the downtown coordinator and the Main Street coordinator, and the title changed to make it not quite so geographically constrained, but the type of business is still the same. Your small, locally owned, sole proprietor type businesses, and obviously it's been a struggle this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as city staff, we were working from home for a while, and especially at that time, I was trying to amplify the communications of businesses. So both, us at the city and Kyle Lang at the Canby Area Chamber of Commerce, that's something we kept hearing from businesses because they had so much to communicate. Like, hey, we're available for takeout. This is what we're doing. It's a reduced menu, and these are our new hours. And, oh, yeah, we're closed on Mondays now, but that could change at any minute, and please check back. And so amplifying those messages on social media, I started using like Instagram stories a lot more because that was an easy way to just kind of highlight what, 10 different businesses were doing real quick in the morning. Mm-hmm. We were early on, trying to plan events around COVID, and then, it changed quickly to be in a position where we were canceling events, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got COVID at the end of May, so I was out for 2 weeks dealing with that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I swear this is just a scratchy throat today.
Right. Sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. The most exciting thing currently, so here we are, mid-November, and the city currently has business resiliency grants open. So we are offering, there's a pot of $150,000 that we're able to make available to businesses as grants. They're not loans. So this is money going to businesses. We are targeting those that were, disproportionately affected by COVID. So those who maybe had to close, or maybe the nature of their business just meant that they got really beat up by the economic recession and COVID restrictions. So definitely trying to get the word out about that. It's right on the City of Canby's homepage right now. And so we're doing a lot of outreach right now.
That program is really great. We've done a couple stories on it. People have been chiming in and are really excited about it. And then more recently, you don't need to talk about this, but there's also the really cool piece that helps individual citizens in need via local nonprofits, and also has some support for nonprofits. The numbers I just wanted to mention are not like overwhelming. I think the maximum, if you're like the largest type of small business, like 16 to 25 FTEs or something, is a $10,000 grant, which doesn't seem like much, but what we've seen this whole year is how creative and dedicated and persistent our small business owners have been able to work magic with less, and that little bit of support really can go a very long way for our dedicated business owners that have so much passion for what they do, and just need a little bit of support every now and then, just through these very difficult times.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope so. And like you, I've been very impressed by small businesses, as kind of always am in this role. But it's so cool to see people be creative. It's really difficult to watch people have to be so creative. Yeah. But certainly there's highlights, and you've done a good job of highlighting them. And I loved early on. You guys had a great article just showing all the takeout options that people had in Canby to still support restaurants through the closure.
We're going to have to repost that, man.
Yeah, you're going to have to repost it as of this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, well, it starts next week.
Okay, thank you. Still catching up on those emails, but
it was announced today when we're recording this. We're recording it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess also mentioning around COVID, the city, this was a lot of work on my end of writing a staff report and recommending a resolution to city council to allow businesses to expand into private parking lots, and essentially not enforcing things in our code that would prevent businesses from doing that, like say a restrictive parking minimum.
Right. So they have to have a certain number of spaces.
Right. Yeah. So, things like the tent at Wayward, and we're hoping to see a few more businesses take advantage of the program. Obviously, the weather's a little rough currently for outdoor dining, but it's in place through the end of next year. So you should have some more outdoor dining opportunities next summer.
Yeah. Hopefully. I don't like to forecast that far out anymore, man, after this year, I gotta say.
Yeah, and that's, it's right as that passed, the wildfires made it seem a little ridiculous to be sitting outdoors and dining. So it's been a year, Frankie.
Yeah. No, I hear you. The main thing that we wanted to talk about today, and I appreciate you giving us so many great updates about what's going on with the city, but I had just recently completed this epic journey of our small businesses that you sent me on to put together a Canby Community Digital Holiday Gift Guide, and something that you can find on our website now when you're listening to this on canbyfirst.com. And we're also going to be promoting it a lot through social media, through Canby Business, and obviously the Canby Current. But what it is basically just highlighting a bunch of our different locally owned, unique to Canby small businesses and the unique and really neat things that you can find there, and the unique shopping experiences that exist for the holiday season at these places.
Yes, I'm so excited about this. It is a good reminder. So last winter, I chose to do just being in my role, I chose to do all my Christmas shopping at Main Street type businesses.
Oh, cool.
And
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was challenging. Well, it was fun and challenging.
Yeah.
It's easier to order stuff online sometimes.
Yeah.
But especially this year, you might be able to do that and keep it local. Just with all the, creativity in the small business community, a lot of people have shifted towards e-commerce and even the smallest of businesses.
Yeah.
Or that provide a safe shopping experience by, new health measures, or curbside or delivery, I think. And it's great that you've gone in and highlighted those options.
Yeah.
Provided hyperlinks too. So whatever you're comfortable with, if you want to go into the book nook with your mask and pick up your gifts, or if you want to order, Post Furnishings, for example, has a really great online ordering system and website, and they'll just leave it out in front of their door for you, and you can go pick it up that way. So hopefully it provides some good inspiration to shop local, because our community needs it more than ever, and you'll have fun.
Yeah. That was one thing that was interesting. I mean, it was just an interesting journey, because every business was unique. Every person was, the commonalities were every person was super friendly, like super excited to be able to take part in this. But many differences, like very different, like you mentioned, Post, they've always been, online and kind of, like not normal hours. Like they keep a few hours on Saturday and then the rest is just by appointment. So they were kind of COVID ready before COVID. They were ahead of the curve versus, antique shops and things that like barely use the internet for anything, before all this. So.
Right.
Yeah. But did you have any particular thinking when you were putting together this list, or you're just trying to capture most of our retail and a really good variety of the retail that we have?
Yeah, so it was hard to put this list together. Well, easy to put a long list together,
right?
And then had to kind of trim it down so that it was only 16 options, I believe. So just focusing on businesses that were really focused on gifts. We had to omit some that really had a different focus, and we'll try to, hit them with some marketing or publicity early next year.
Yeah.
Restaurants, for example. So we're really trying to focus on holiday gift shopping, and businesses that have that as a focus, or make a great place to buy holiday gifts. And there are plenty of additional places you can get great gifts for people. It's maybe especially like if you need a good dad gift, check it out. Ebner's Custom Meats has cool barbecue stuff, or FOB Tap Room has great beer drinking, branded swag and pint glasses and steel growlers, and even like Canby rental equipment. I would love a new chainsaw for Christmas. I don't know if my girlfriend listens to the podcast, but they're a dealer of steel power equipment, and can't find a better.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that would fit in your stocking though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It'd be an under the tree thing.
It would be, yeah. And I mean, ironic, right? For it to be right there by, yeah. By a cut tree. Well, you didn't send me to any of those places, man. I would have been a little more comfortable there than like all these little boutiques for like women's clothing and stuff.
Well, it's good to get you out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And I've been to all these boutiques and have a great relationship with all the owners, and I love going in there. It is comfortable, and I've gotten some great gifts for my girlfriend at both Park & Lou and Barn Door.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some awesome options for the ladies.
Yes.
Holiday season.
Yeah, so the Barn Door, I guess we'll start off there. She kind of put together a package of some quick gifts is what she's really promoting this year. So, you know, earring kind of things in the $10 to $20 range for friends and family, or, you know, little things here and there for a special loved one. But, you know, some socks, scrunchies.
Country flavor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you have a country music enthusiast, which shouldn't be hard to find in Canby.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would like the stuff from Barn Door. And handmade. I
was going to say,
an artist too.
A lot of her stuff is handmade either by her or a lot of folks that she has relationships with and sells their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right on Ivy in downtown. So it's, you know, you can have lunch at Los Dos Agaves before or afterwards, and part of the downtown community. So it's a fun and accessible spot to visit. Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you know, and I kind of mentioned this, but like it's just really fun that you can go in to all these little stores and you're talking to the, you know, in a lot of cases, the owner of the store, you know, and you can get some really interesting insight in, you know, their business and what's going on and what's happening with COVID and how it affects them. Speaking of which, the next one on our list, we're just going alphabetical, but Bikes and More, just a block away.
Right.
It's unbelievable. You know, they are having, when COVID first hit and it was like, you know, okay, there's not a lot that we can do anymore, but we can be outside, you know, this summer, we can exercise, we can ride bikes and stuff. And business for him for a while went really well. And ever since really this summer, supply has been so hard for his store, trying to keep things in stock. The supply chain's been really affected. And he's really having a hard time getting parts and getting stock. He's ordered a bunch of stuff and he's like, you know, a lot of the parts he's not expecting till like June of next year.
Wow. So did he chase you away and say, go promote me?
Well, you know, exactly. That was kind of the thing. He's like, helmets, I guess you could promote that. But then, one thing that he does have quite a bit of right now are these beautiful kids bikes. So if you've got a kid that is ready for a new bike or is on your list, that's definitely something that they have ready to go.
That is such a classic Christmas gift to have a, you know, tricycle or kid's bike under the tree.
Yeah.
Next to Daddy's chainsaw.
Right. Yes, exactly. Okay. You know, we love the Book Nook. Great local store. The thing
about the Book Nook that I want to say is that Megan Waterman will tell you exactly what to buy as a gift for
which I love.
Anyone in your life.
Yeah. It makes it so easy. Yeah.
So I was able to get a, you know, children's book for my nephew when he turned 1, and we'll be reading eventually.
And also she can do so much with like so little, because, you know, like no matter what, she'll ask you a couple questions, you know, like what kind of books do they like, or, you know, what kind of things do they do? And I'm like, I think she likes Jane Austen, you know? And she's like, oh, okay, this, and this. Like, she just instantly, you know, it's really cool.
Yeah. I love the Book Nook, and great gift section. So don't think that you're just going to get a book at the Book Nook, although you certainly can.
Yeah.
But Megan also featured a lot of local kind of makers or designers. There's local art up as well, and things like socks and literary candles and teas that are blended to go with certain areas of fiction.
Right. Yeah. A lot of literary based gifts. She's got a really big collection of games and puzzles. And one thing that we were featuring in this guide is, there are a few different lines that she has like this, but the Harry Potter stuff that she's got like Harry Potter themed Monopoly, Harry Potter themed Labyrinth, Harry Potter themed Spot It, which is a kids game. I don't know if you know that, but my kids love it. It's like a matching cards game.
Cool.
Harry Potter themed socks, Harry Potter themed candles, and then this really cool, like really, really intricate Harry Potter pop-up book. It's like the first book done with pop-ups, and it's like the first page is it's built into the page, but it's like you got a letter from Hogwarts, and it you open up the envelope and it like unrolls like absurdly long. And then there's obviously like Hogwarts itself is a page, and Quidditch, and it's really neat.
Cool, yeah, and it's this beautiful book that looks like it's from the Middle Ages.
Right.
It's all this beautiful, carving and art on it. Cool.
You did make up for sending me to all the boutiques by letting me go to Bricks and Minifigs, which is one of my favorite places on planet Earth.
Yeah. I wanted your kids to enjoy this as well. So I know they like that.
I can't bring them unless I'm ready to spend money, so.
Oh, okay. Bricks and Minifigs, like, if people maybe don't know what's going on in Canby, they will usually know about the Bricks and Minifigs in Canby because they've been down there for someone's birthday party, or their kids said they had to go and they went.
And it's right there.
It is an institution.
It's
right on 99.
there on 99. It's one of the places where you don't need to know the location or whatnot, or don't have any trouble finding it.
Yeah, and some of the kind of complete sets you can get are collector's items and Star Wars themed, or various themes they have. So it's fun. Legos are amazing. It's another like quarantine special that you should probably get into building Lego kits again if it's been a while.
Right. Yeah, and that was what they wanted to feature, was those custom built sets that they have. They're all certified. That they all have, and have all the pieces and look exactly like they should, or better, because sometimes they customize them even more than they originally came. So
yeah, and if people don't know, that is the original Bricks and Minifigs, which is now a chain, I believe, or franchise rather.
Yeah.
So there's plenty around the country, but it's all started here in Canby.
Yep. Yeah, it's very, very cool. All the sets that you can imagine, you can find there. All the Star Wars, the classic city ones, the dragons, the Harry Potter, the fairy tales, and all that good stuff. All the Disney stuff.
Bulk Legos. I imagine the sets will set you back up a couple shekels, but the bulk Legos, go grab a bucket of those. And for the young kids,
you just make
I'm not a parent, so I don't know about choking hazards and all that. But of an appropriate age, you can have a lot of fun just snapping blocks together. So.
Yeah. People joke about like the Legos and the being on the carpet and walking on them barefoot, and it's kind of like a cliche. It's real.
Oh, right.
I tell you, the pain is real. I've experienced it. It's not a cliche. It is horrible. It is true. It is worse than advertised. So, very, very beloved local store was the Canby Kiwanis Thrift Store, which is, a nonprofit. It does really cool work in our community.
One of the few remaining Kiwanis thrift stores. Yeah. Very long history in Canby. They own the building. It is a really successful business. They always have great stuff in there. I find jackets and shirts and clothing, furniture as well. But I love their, I found some really cool retro jackets and hoodies and that sort of stuff in there. So, from personal experience, but such a great place to shop, especially because their big event of the year is the Canby Food and Toy Drive, which is going on this year. They've made some adjustments, but I think it'll be better than ever and more important than ever. So any dollar you spend at the Kiwanis thrift store is going to a good cause.
Yeah. I'm not a big thrift store shopper guy myself, but I cannot walk into that store and walk out of it without finding something. Stuff just catches your eye. They're so great at their displays and really good prices, and it all goes to a good cause. So yeah, and I'll plug the restaurant next door, which is La Mixteca, and I think they have got the best tacos in Canby. And I know that might be a contentious statement, but I've been around, I've tried a lot, and I will continue to make the rounds because gotta have variety, right? But check out the tacos from La Mixteca. They are doing to-go only right now. But man, sorry, off topic. You can give tacos as a gift, right? I don't know. I'm just, wondering why you're trying to get this podcast canceled by claiming the best tacos. I mean, we can talk about religion, we can talk about politics, but let's not go into the best tacos, okay? Let's keep it civil here.
They are among the best tacos in Canby.
Okay, I'll take it. No, that's cool. I'll have to try them. Hey, so Canby Music is next on our list at their new location.
It is so beautiful down there. I really suggest you stop in if you haven't been.
It's beautiful.
Just an amazing new building. Downtown, but just sort of south of what you think of as downtown. So just down the road from Canby Rental and Equipment, sort of by the Canby Current podcast studio there.
Oh yeah, that's a landmark for most people. It's right across the street from the post office, and it's on the same block and next door to what used to be Grand Central Station and now is Narrow.
Yeah, and you can't miss it because it is a beautiful bright blue building that's recently been renovated, and the whole first floor now is a sales floor with really quality instruments. They even have a little guitar shop in there, and I took my guitar in there, and they installed a new little grommet on it so that I could finally use a guitar strap.
Oh, sweet.
So they are very
nice.
Yeah. And they really have a great curated selection of really high quality guitars and banjos, and I see you're highlighting the banjos.
Yeah, they wanted to feature Deering Banjos, which is one of the top banjo companies in the world. They're based down in California, and that's the thing. I mean, they really have a very carefully selected, carefully curated line of products for each instrument that they feel are just the best at what they do, and are incredibly high quality. And they know that inventory like the back of their hands. Is really cool.
Yeah. Breedlove guitars are just beautiful. There's all these cool hardwood guitar bodies, and of course you can do lessons downstairs. They have a few new lesson rooms, so that could make a gift. Why not?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
One of our newer stores, the Adalia Home and Garden, which is in the Dahlia building, used to be formerly known as Canby Gifts and Toys. Was known by that name for we're coming up on a year that they've been open now, so a little less than a year. Same exact store, same owner, same staff and everything. They just changed the name to be what they felt to be a little more reflective of what types of products were most kind of in demand and most popular from their customers.
Yeah, they've focused in on their kind of strong suit, it seems like.
Yeah.
And they have some, all right, I'll go ahead and say, among the best places to find a holiday gift.
I've got you all nervous now.
They have just all this Christmas decor, and it's all pretty high-end and, again, really curated. I was looking at some leather driving gloves from Patagonia.
Yeah.
Not the company, but like from a cowboy who lives in southern Argentina.
Oh my gosh.
So if that's, your style.
Right.
Check out Dahlia Home and Garden. Took me a second there.
Yeah. And the person who does their inventory, Maya Kinley Hanlon, who we've had on the show before and have done some stories with her, it's kind of interesting. They opened, I forget the exact time that they opened. I feel like it was October of last year. But it was not being someone who runs a store. You think that is plenty of time to be ready for the holidays, but it's not. Stores start getting their inventory like in the summer for the holidays, or at least start ordering it and having it ready. So they were actually really late in the game to be, trying to build up inventory in time for the holidays last year. But this year, they were on top of it. So they got some really great stuff, lots of ornaments, lots of really unique Christmas decor, a lot of it handmade and local as well. So definitely put them on your list if you're doing some shopping.
Yeah, and great window shopping as well. They're in the ground floor of the new Dahlia building, so it's just these big, wide open windows, and they've done great window displays. So if you want to get in the spirit and just stroll around downtown and do some window shopping, that might be your first stop.
Yeah. Joining us now is Donna Ellison of Ellison Team Homes, a firm serving all across the Portland metro area with 3 realtors based right here in Canby. Donna, can you tell us how Ellison Team Homes started?
I started in real estate. I grew up with my dad. He was a realtor. So I'm a second-generation broker, and I grew up with him on weekends. And I learned a lot, eventually working with him for several years and then going out on my own. Our family moved to Canby a couple of years ago, but we really didn't know how it was going to go. And within the first probably 3 months of being here, we literally fell head over heels in love with this place. We love the community, the spirit here. The first Christmas at Waite Park, I was literally crying because everybody was walking around saying Merry Christmas and people were drinking hot chocolate, and we got in a carriage ride with the horse, and it was just too much. You just realize it's special here. Real estate's always been my passion. It is my professional love. I enjoy the people, the relationships. So much comes out of kind of the intensity that you spend with people. You're really up in their business for a period of time, and sometimes it's a couple months, sometimes it's a couple years, sometimes it's a lifetime. I feel very blessed at this point to have people that have been with me for almost my entire career. Clients that have bought and sold maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 homes. I have one client that's bought and sold 8 homes with me. 3 generations. It's a beautiful business. It makes for a very full life.
How can people find you?
How can they not, really? We have a website, www.ellisonteamhomes.com.
Well, thank you, Donna.
Thank you for having me.
One of our older businesses, Holbert's Flowers, a multi-generational local business here in town on 9090, but also not a lot of people know it has gifts as well, has some great gifts, not just flowers.
Absolutely. Yeah, such an institution in Canby, been around for a very long time. Also very strong in the Christmas decor department, being sort of a flower shop. They branch into that realm quite easily. So what did you find in Holbert's?
So they displayed some of their seasonal gifts, and then obviously some of their seasonal floral arrangements. The thing that is really neat about them as a flower shop, almost every single one of their arrangements are custom made to order. You know, they have some things on their website. They have some kind of general things, and they can make it exactly like the picture if that's what you want. But that's not, you know, they really kind of prefer to make each one unique and make it to order, which I think is really cool. And they, one of the things that for this picture that's in the guide, the kind of Christmas display that's this like really cool wood basket that they've never made that before. They just made that because I asked them for, you know, something Christmassy for this guide, and it's beautiful. Like it's amazing. Great. Yeah, they just put that together.
Yeah, flower arranging is actually such an art. I have a few friends and family members who are into it. It was a little bit of a quarantine activity for me, myself, just being in the house with a lot of rose bushes. So if you respect the art and want a custom flower arrangement, they're amazing. And delivery, I always see the delivery truck driving around.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep. They do delivery. A newer business, Moondoggies, Overstock and Liquidation, where the Canby Pond store used to be. So near Kiwanis. They are, they're obviously an Overstock store. And, I mean, this one was a little tough because like the antique shops and things, like they don't have reliable inventory. I mean, their inventory can be completely different from one day to the next, just depending on what comes in and what gets sold. But he just, you know, the owner was there and he said, yeah, just kind of walk around and see what catches your eye. And they had these really cool, I'd never seen them before. They're sock advent calendars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's like 15 pairs of socks. And they're like, you know, Mickey and Minnie Mouse or Harry Potter. But they, you know, I'm not sure if they'll still have them when you go, but definitely go check them out because I can guarantee they'll have some cool stuff and something that I'm sure you'll have a place for at your house or someone on your list would like.
Yeah, and really strong in like home goods, so you can get all sorts of random and deeply discounted, but fairly nice and typically brand new. I think probably exclusively brand new home goods. So like stools, chairs, mirrors, benches,
couches,
and then
like lighting fixtures and things like that, like home improvement type stuff, tools. Yeah, you just never know what you can find there.
Gear,
camping
clothing, and then even like some interesting masks. So for the COVID conscious, I saw some good masks in there, and it's all you're getting a good deal at an Overstock store. And Brian's a really, you know, another fun owner to talk to. It's hard to get social interaction these days, so I love stuffing in on these businesses and having conversations. Moondoggies is new, so check them out.
Yeah. Over by the Fred Meyer Center, we've featuring Nature's Pet Market in Canby, a store that sells all kinds of pet supplies and lots of all natural foods for your pet. And they have frozen, meat-based foods that are just ready to go. Lots of bagged foods, treats, and things like that. But what I just couldn't help but feature from this store were these like gourmet cookies for dogs that look good enough to eat. Like they look like they you would not be surprised to see them on like a human bakery. I didn't try it.
Yeah.
But the owner did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she said that she's tried them before. Because they're all, I mean, it's made for a dog, but they're made with like peanut butter and oat flour and applesauce and I mean, they're made with human food. But she did say they are not sweet. They're pretty bland, kind of taste more like just kind of bland oatmeal than really a cookie.
Cool.
So, but the dogs sure like them.
My childhood home, we always had stockings for the cats and the dogs. So,
oh, really? That's cool.
Your pet stocking stuffers there. And, yeah, shower your animals with love.
Yeah.
They're part of the family, right?
Yeah.
So, you always need new, leashes, harnesses, collars. They make great gifts for the dog lover in your life, too, I think.
Yeah. Really unique store is Park and Lou Boutique. They are inside of LMA's Beauty Bar. The Quonset hut that's behind Canby Auto Body Shop and across the street from the 7-Eleven. And so, they're on the sign and whatnot, but you have to enter the salon, and it's a space behind this big sliding barn door, this small little, 300 square foot nook that the owner, Andrea Merrifield, has just done an incredible job of transforming this space into a beautiful little shop with all kinds of clothes and jewelry. And really, I couldn't stop taking... wasn't what she wanted me to feature, but I could not stop taking pictures of all these really funny, little signs and things, with snarky comments and stuff. But some really funny... some kind of more gag gifts, or some, obviously really, really nice jewelry for somebody special. And she wanted to feature this line of hobo leather purses, which are really cool... handmade leather handbags and wallets not being a purse carrier myself, but I thought they looked cool. They had some really neat designs to them.
Yeah, this is another, somewhat, you wouldn't think so, because it's in the Quonset hut behind the automotive store,
right.
But this is a high-end boutique.
Yeah, it is.
That really has a community following. I know Andrea is really active on Facebook and does sort of live sales, as a few of the boutiques do. But man, she has really nice stuff back there. And it's almost like a cult following, because she'll have 100 pairs of this certain type of shoe that is just really the best shoe ever, and everyone's crazy about them, and they come from all over to get them. But just her brand is incredible. I mean, the photo you've included is perfect, because it looks like it could be, a boutique somewhere in Manhattan, but it's in Canby in a building with a metal roof.
Much like Canby Music and some of the other stores we mentioned, Andrea very, very carefully works with certain brands and carefully selects the ones that she wants to work with, and then also selects them based on geography. She's not going to carry something that you can get anywhere else in town, or even a neighboring town. So she really tries to find super high quality things, but also things that are really unique that you've probably never seen before, at least not outside of, maybe Manhattan or Portland or whatever.
Yeah, and very, very true to her own style. I think this is such a passion business for her. It's a fun environment in there. I don't know if this is currently going on, but in normal times, there's Wine Wednesdays, and Andrea's helped me pick out gifts for my girlfriend. She's very personable.
Yeah,
you'll fall in love with her and become a regular.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're still doing the Wine Wednesdays, but she does have at least a couple of outdoor events planned, I think, around the holidays. I'm not sure how much the news of today might affect, but when we were talking last week, she had those in mind. She is planning on doing some Black Friday stuff. So, yeah, check out her social media, Park and Lou, LU, and see what she's got going on.
Yeah, and this article will get published with all the hyperlinks to people's websites and social media, so it'll be a good resource for staying on top of what people are able to do, whether it's a little sidewalk sale or maybe more online shopping, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned them, but Post Furnishings and they've got an incredible social media presence and website, but they do, kind of the reason that they don't always have the shop open is because they're always hard at work finding really unique pieces and fixing them up. So they reclaim a lot of furniture and turn it into something, either fix it or turn it into something even new and better, just with their own creativity and skill and experience. And so they have things that you can't find anywhere else because in some cases, they made it or they restored it in a way that only they could.
Yeah, and focusing on high-end brands, my kitchen counter stools are from Restoration Hardware, but via Post Furnishing. So they weren't as much as they used to be, and they are very high quality. And they do have smaller gift items too, sort of focused on decor, but definitely have some holiday themed things. I noticed a bunch of nutcrackers, for example, on their website, which is a really great website, as we mentioned.
Yeah, we got our recliners from them. Really high-end recliners at a really, really good price, and we've had them for quite a few years. And we are not, and especially with my kids, we're not the easiest on furniture, but they've been holding up really well. So
Cool. And you can always follow on OfferUp, which is the kind of resale app that a lot of people use, and they are always on there. Check out their website; it's great.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite places is Puddin' River Chocolates. Obviously their main thing is chocolate, but they have fondue. They have a few gifty items in there as well. And sort of things that are chocolate adjacent. They've got the chocolate coated potato chips, which are a really big thing for people that kind of like that salty and savory chocolate dipped cookies and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously chocolate is their bread and butter, and they are unbelievable at it. So it should be.
Yeah. Teresa's amazing. You can stop in their retail shop as well. They're, again, have a great website and do a lot of online business, but they do have a physical location on South Ivy. Sort of a unique place to visit. You can pull in there and visit the shop. I love the chocolate covered potato chips. Thank you for mentioning that. Also, you've probably seen their hazelnut toffee around. I think that's another one of their best sellers, but it seems Christmassy to me. It's like a holiday thing that's out at holiday.
They really lean into every season. They've got a fall line. They've got Halloween stuff that they do. They've obviously got, Valentine's Day is their Super Bowl. But yeah, Christmas, I mean, is a big thing for them. And they've got all kinds of special flavors and shapes and colors and things that really they create just for this time of year. And it's the only time that you can find them. So, I mean, and chocolate and Christmas, I mean, that just kind of goes together.
Yeah, I'm thinking stocking stuffers for the chocolate, and then you can also get custom pies or quiches from Puddin' River with, advance notice typically. So, Christmas breakfast, a big quiche, or just your holiday party to bring dessert. Or your holiday household party, perhaps.
Yeah. So our last
make it easy for yourself.
Our last two on our list here are two of the antique stores in downtown Canby. And they're just our last two because they happen to fall next to each other alphabetically. Red Door, Antique and Resale, and Retro Revival. But, I went into this project and each one, we kind of asked them to do a featured item and we did a photo shoot. I'm like, what are we going to do with these antique stores? Because they don't have reliable inventory, like, oh, this is going to be our hot seller. Let's get 1,000 of these, for the holiday season. That's not how it works. But surprisingly, in both cases, they were like, oh, here's what we kind of feature. And it was really unique and, they just kind of niches that they've found. Yeah. So, sorry, my daughter's getting some more candy. Yeah, why don't you take two of those? Yeah, one for your brother. Do you need to open it?
Specifically at Red Door, it's all individual sellers, so you have little sections that are curated by specific individuals, and some actually specialize in, Christmassy type items, and I always spend a lot of time in that store because it's like a history museum, and just some really unique, fun items in there. And really, I can say the same for Retro Revival. I've gotten a lot of great vintage furniture at Retro and handmade stuff. Hard to say what you're going to find, but I see that Susie at Retro Revival is highlighting her makers or mixed media and kind of makers section. So that's a whole section of the store now where you can find extremely unique buttons, letters, beads, little jewelry items or jewelry making items. And for the crafter in your life, you might find some luck at Retro Revival. And again, both of these antique shops have, vintage store and an antique shop, right? Great window shopping. They're downtown. So Red Door on First Avenue, which will have stunning Christmas lights any day now. And Retro Revival is right on the edge of Waite Park, which will be lit during the month of December, following the first Friday in December at least. So it'll be right on your lights tour of downtown Canby to stop in on these two.
Yeah, those windows, Susie and Retro Revival, it was an Oregon City store, and she moved to Canby because that space was open, and she saw those windows, and she's like, I need to be there. And she does such a great job with the window displays. Both of those stores do. The mixed media, she's got really cool like rusty metal pieces and letters. She does a lot of stuff with like game pieces with Scrabble. And then Red Door, they have all of these old vintage typewriters, and it's a big business for them. They sell, the manager is telling me they sell like a couple dozen a month. Well, like we said, this guide is going to be on our website, canbyfirst.com, and on all the social media. I really appreciate you, Calvin, for letting us do this and being the instigator behind it, pulling all the strings.
Hey, thank you so much for putting it together. I think it'll be a great resource. I personally am inspired to do all my holiday shopping at local stores, whether they're in South Canby or North Canby or East Canby or West Canby.
Yeah.
It makes a difference now more than ever. And these businesses and their owners are just, the heart of the community. We appreciate them so much, and thanks also to the businesses who took the time to talk with us and share their wares and share their stories. Get out there and enjoy the season. Downtown is always great time. It's always a great time to visit downtown Canby. Make a trip of it, visit a restaurant, grab some takeout. And enjoy it. Enjoy the gift guide.
All right. Well, thanks again, Calvin, and take care.
Thank you, Frankie. Have a good night. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hey, Frankie, you okay? You seem kind of down.
Yeah, just bummed. Miss going to the Wild Hair. I know you can still get takeout and all, but it's just not the same.
You know they're open again, right?
What?
Yeah, they've been open for a while now. Don't you cover, the news?
Hey, I'm only human, okay?
Okay. Well, I can tell you that the Wild Hair and their amazing staff are thrilled to be open again for delicious meals and fun times. They are strictly following all the recommended safety guidelines, and they have the only covered outdoor patio in Canby, with lots of tables spaced 6 feet apart and umbrellas also spaced 6 feet apart, and fantastic ambiance. And hey, if you're still more comfortable with carryout, they can hook you up there too. Find their menu and other information online at thewildhairsaloon.net or check them out in Canby and Oregon City. Anything to add, Frankie? Frankie? Oh, I guess he left. God, he must have been really hungry. Now Hear This Canby is produced by me, Tyler Clausen. Our content director and star reporter is Tyler Frankie. And of course, our show is edited by Cameron Clausen. We also feature the vocal talents of Joyce Struby and James Walden, so a round of applause to them. The song that you're hearing right now is Canby by singer-songwriter Olivia Harms, used with her permission. To find more work from her, you can visit her website olivia13.com.
Now Hear This Canby is dedicated to preserving independent local journalism and redefining local news with our fun, fresh, and energetic brand of storytelling. Our sincere thanks to our local sponsors who make this show possible. Please show your appreciation by supporting the small businesses who support us.
The production of Now Hear This Studios, Canby's locally owned full-service audio, video, and media production company. Our mission is to produce the best content in the universe, and we'd love to help you do it. Find us online at nhtstudios.com.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I just moved it.
I didn't even ask for it, though.